Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. On your screen you will see a whole bunch of colors, and I wanted to do a very colorful background as a first pull. And as you can see, I have my arsenal of brayers ready to go, and I made sure to oil all of them so they don't squeak all over the place. But first of all, I want to express my deepest appreciation to all my dear viewers and subscribers. I have reached my goal of 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I would get this far, because I'm kind of late to the party, and I didn't think, that it would take off this quickly. But I want to say thank you, and please continue your viewership because it means so much to me. So anyway, let me get this show on the road, and I'm going to start with these two. One is called Arctic by Lukas. So I'm going to create these different zones of color. They may come out random. I'm actually not sure yet, but I'm trying not to overthink this. Okay. This is a little bit watery. That's okay. So I'm going to start with doing this area here. And then a layer of light blue here. This is a bit stronger. This is aqua green. So I'm hoping that this first pull will be kind of a painterly background. I started out as having separate zones which are very structured, but now I'm kind of blending them together. They may still come out looking structured on the first pull, but that's okay. Right. And I'm going to refrain from doing my scribbles. I may reserve that for later. Okay. Now, since this is the first layer, I will leave this paper on for about 15 minutes because I do want it to absorb all the moisture from the paint, and this way it will transfer well on the paper. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and I can see that the edges of the paper are starting to create a mark. So let me see what I got here. It's a nice almost like an abstract painting. Okay, so just a little dirt here. Okay, so this is a nice first pool. By the way, before I did this, I took my entire plate into the sink and gave it a good scrubbing. I wanted to start fresh and not have any leftover scraps of paint left behind. So I used the nylon scrubber and made sure that the edges are clean and both sides are clean. So anyways, I'm going to air dry this first. And proceed with some stencils. So back in a few. Okay, on your screen you will see some of the recycled acetate stencils that I've had. I haven't cleaned them because I wanted to, well, make it easier to see on camera. If they were completely clean, they would be invisible. And I made an arrangement here. And I'm going to use a very bright vermilion color and combine some of it with a deep magenta. So there will be some very high spots of high color here. And then the rest will be a magenta. Now this time, instead of rolling over the entire stencil, I'm just trying to work around, just inking the parts that are going to print. Okay. Let me just make some room here for the stencils. Most likely, after this printing session, I'm going to soak these and try to salvage them. And since they're made of acetate, they will hold up. Okay. So here is the first layer, just to refresh your memory. Very cool pastel colors. And let's see what the combination will be like. Now, my reason for choosing those two colors, the magenta and the vermilion, was to provide some contrast, so they would stand out against the background. Okay, so back in a few minutes. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, I can see a slight misregistration, but that's okay. I love the color combinations. Very textile-like. Almost a color combination you would see on fabric. Okay, cool. Again, I'm going to air dry this and possibly do a third layer. I'll see what I can do. Okay, back after a few minutes, and I did quite a bit of scrubbing. These are the recycled acetate pieces, and you can't really see them that well because they're clear, but let me just turn this off. As a last layer, I'm going to use unbleached titanium, and I think this will be like a nice foil for all the bright colors. It will reveal some of the colors underneath, and it will conceal some of it. So it's a double purpose. And I'm not, as usual, I'm not 100% as to what the result will be, because I'm kind of doing this on the fly, and even if I do plan a little bit, the result is still pretty much a surprise. So this is the quietest my brayer has been. I guess it's because of that baby oil. Okay. Now I did cut up some of the pieces into smaller ones so they would fit into the spaces. Hopefully I don't forget any one of them. Okay, just to refresh your memory, here is the colorful print with a second pull. Let's see what happens when I the back of this paper is not as clean as I want it to be, but that's because of all the different colors I've been using. It's hard to keep the back of it clean. unless I wipe the plate clean after each pull, and that's not really practical. All right. Now the unbleached titanium is kind of heavy, so I'm not going to wait too long to pull this paper off. Otherwise I'm afraid it will tear. So let's see what we got. I see very nice texture, almost like a woodcut. Very cool. I like that a lot. Now it really looks like textile. Quite happy with this. I wasn't planning it to look like this, but I even like the misregistration part, because it really shows you how many layers there are. And I do love the textures. Here, let me give you a close-up. The textures are made by the brayer. It has all these tiny little nooks and crannies, which I think makes it a very interesting surface. It's very characteristic of printmaking. Like with other disciplines like woodcuts and lino cuts and lithographs. So anyways, I will let this dry. I may not even need to put collage because it's kind of stands alone. So I'll know better when this dries, when I air dry this. So don't go away. Okay, just to recap, this is nice and dry. And it's interesting that the unbleached titanium, once it comes out of the tube, it looks white. It dries to a very soft beige, and it's a very pleasing color, like a very neutral beige. So here is, again, I'm going to do a close-up so you can see the texture. And I'm quite happy with the color combinations, even if I didn't over plan it too much. So this will be my 1000 subscriber anniversary edition. And again, I want to thank all my wonderful viewers and subscribers. Thank you for making this possible. And I hope you continue to enjoy and learn from the videos. And I do hope to see you next time.